A quick programming note before we get started with today's episode. I made a huge error, and I just want to point out to you now before you start screaming at the screen when you see it. Today's mission is going to Minmus. I forgot to actually activate the contract before flying the mission. I do make that up at the end, you'll see towards the end, but this was pretty much the derpiest thing I've done. I've made mistakes before, but that's a big one. Anyway, on to the episode. Hello and welcome to episode 7 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim, and today we are going to go back to kind of the main missions of progress on our career mode here. We did a bunch of little missions last time. This time, however, I want to make some progress by exploring Minmus. Quite a bit of reward and prestige from this. 76 science just from the mission. We'll collect a lot of science on Minmus. 121,000 for the main completion, plus all the little minor objectives. We have one more active, which is testing a stack decoupler orbiting Kerbal. That is just a little guy. I thought it was the really big one, but it's actually a little one, so we may add that to our mission just to get some extra stuff, because we get 72 science and another 89,000. So just doing excuse me, just doing this will pretty much pay for our mission. So into the VAB, let's pull up our moon rocket. And we know this will do the job, so it should get to Minmus fine, do the Minmus mission with no problems whatsoever. We do want to, let me look at something here. What are my mission numbers up to? 9. So let's go ahead and change this to 10. Minmus, mission 1. We do want to make a couple of minor adjustments. One, we want to put some landing lights on the ship. I don't have any already, do I? No, I don't. And because this will kind of give us a hint of how far away we are from the surface, so let's just put them here. Let's do triple, keep things, and then we want to point them almost straight down. Not quite. That's a little too far. Yeah, right there should do. Pick the color you like. I'm gonna go with purple. Let's do purple. The other thing we want to do is limit our thrust on these engines, because this is really strong for Minmus. Minmus is very light gravity. So let's go down to 30%, or as close as we can get on this touchy little bar. There we go, 30%, and that's all of them, right? Yes. Because that's more than enough of what we'll need, and if it's too strong, we'll have a really hard time maintaining our control. We have our 2 extra science containers for getting science near and high above Minmus. We have the one for landing. We have 2 goo pods just for balance here, but let's also go ahead and put a couple down on, oops, we just need 2 down here, because this will allow us to get goo pod experiments in near and high without using up our goo pods there. And finally, when we want to test that one decoupler in orbit above Kerbal, so let's see if we can actually figure out how to do that. That is this little guy right here. See how small that is practically nothing. Let's look at the contract. We do it through staging. So we can just we can just put it right here on yeah, we'll go ahead and just put it on there. See, it'll blow off. I'm still not sure if we need something on the other end. A note said we don't, though I've had experience with the radial decouplers where I did. We'll try it without. If it doesn't work, then we'll just do it another time. So that will be a good little experiment to see if how this works. So that will be okay. Let's check our staging. So we have our 4 boosters, our 4 more main rockets. The boosters fall away, the main rockets fall away, lighting up the main middle rocket. Then we get rid of that, fly with that. There's our 3 little tests. We'll put that here before we activate the main engines, so we can move this to wherever it needs to be relative to where we are at the time we're in orbit. Alright, so we are ready to fly to Minmus. Let's get a crew member. Not Bill. Let's see, Charlie, Gregden. Let's go with Gregden. Let's save. And let's launch. Alright, here we are on the launch pad. SAS on. Let's see, where do we want throttles? I think we wanted throttles just a third on this. Get resources up. Gregden looks like he's ready. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Very nice. Alright, this ship we know will reach orbit just fine, so I will see you guys when we're up there. Okay, we have achieved orbit. Now let's see what the conditions of our contract are. Okay, we need to be between 87,000 and 93,000 meters, so we can go ahead and extend this orbit. Let's continue burning. And we need to get about 87. Okay, we're 89 there. Let's go ahead and do the contract first. And then we'll get ourselves ready for the Minmus transfer. Keep that up. 87,000 and 9,300. Alright, we are meeting the conditions now to get... So we need this stage next. And all we need to do is hit the space bar. And we have achieved it. So yes, we did not need anything below them. Still not sure about radial decouplers. I'll have to kind of test that at some point. But now that's another 89,000. That pretty much paid for our ship. Our ship was just a little over 100,000. So everything now from the Minmus mission is bonus. Alright, now speaking of Minmus, let's get there. Set that as a target. And then for Minmus, we want to burn, we want it kind of like 2 o'clock, I think. So let's see what that does. So that's right around the descending node, which is perfect because we can actually change our inclination while doing this burn if we need to. Extend this out. Whoops, and I actually accidentally scrolled my wheel on one of these somewhere. Oh no, that's... Never mind, that's happening because of our encounter. There we go. Alright, let me do this over again because that just confused things. So let's get on the node, add maneuver, and it's usually about 920 meters per second, 60 more than going to the moon. And we got lucky because it is on the descending node. We can get the encounter directly, while if we were trying to meet it like over this way, we would have to first correct our burn, which would take about, I think it typically takes about 200 meters per second to change inclination from Kerbin's orbit. But we are fine. We just need the encounter. And let's take a look. Let's do our little trick. Let's see if this is a retrograde or prograde encounter. So if we hit tab, and go through until we get Minmus and zoom in, we will see our encounter. You'll see that we come in this way and then underneath the South Pole and then zoom up here. What we really want is to be on this side so we can go around with the orbit of Minmus. But if we were trying to get in that, but this really doesn't matter. We have more than enough delta V to do whatever we want to do when we get there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and move on to our marker, blue marker. Alright, this thing does not want to spin. I probably should put an extra reaction wheel on somewhere. Because just a little capsule trying to move this entire ship around. At least I went the right way this time. And now let's start slowing it down now. Let's let it drift over. Let me turn off SAS and let it drift over by itself. Get rid of that and get our resources up. Plenty of fuel, plenty of everything really. Alright, that'll stop, and now let's head around to the maneuver node in 23 minutes. I'm not sure why it drifts off. I think it's because Minmus is moving something in orbit with us. Some kind of debris. Alright, so we're getting close to our burn point. Let's just make the last little move over to a line, and then we'll start burning. And we'll get extra control once the engine's going. There we go. These gimbaling engines are very, very handy. And then we're going to cut this short once again and do the last bit of maneuver with just our eyeballs looking at the results. Alright, let's do that last 56 meters per second while looking at, let's get rid of this, and let's get our focus back to our ship with backspace, and then take a look at this. Yeah, see right now we're right about the moon. Another 60 meters per second is what we need to get the Minmus. So we'll do that very slowly. Let me do this last little bit very, very slowly. We want the first encounter. That will be... okay. That will be what is most likely to be prograde. Our periapsis is 113,000 meters, which is very nicely close. Now let's take a look once more at the actual result. Okay, this time, yeah, we're a little bit more on the prograde side, which is counterclockwise looking down. We're still way south, and that's because of Minmus's inclination. We can fix that. We'll fix that on the way. Actually, I'll show you how to fix that on the way back to our ship. Let's go ahead and zoom out of here and go about halfway there. Anyway, a moon encounter coming back, but since we're stopping, that won't matter. For some reason, we've lost our encounter with Minmus. It's kind of a weird thing that happens. I think we'll get it back if we do what we want. We want to burn north because we were coming in from the South Pole, so let's burn north. And that is this way, actually, the other way from the way I'm going. And if you remember, we were going south and we were just barely past Minmus's equator when we were looking down. So like Minmus was here and we were going under and around a little bit this way. So if we raise this up straight north, we'll actually get closer to Minmus. And we're already, because it's so heavy, there's a lot of momentum behind this ship. It's turned around already on me. Let's get it back to north. Alright, then we're just going to do a very, very slight burn. And why don't we have... Oh, we actually need to burn southward. Yep, we need to burn the other way. Because look, we're going over the orbit of Minmus. And I have very little control. Yep, I definitely need a reaction wheel on this ship. I don't know why we lost the encounter. Very strange. Because when we look at this directly, we're flying a little behind. It's not showing a near encounter anymore. It should be showing the nearest. We're almost at south there, 180. It's like when we're essentially lost because we don't know where we're going. And there's no direct clues except for kind of eyeballing the patterns there where we need to go. It's just a slight burn. And that's not getting us an encounter either. So let's do prograde. Slowly getting over there. There we go, there's an encounter again. Okay, now that we have an encounter, we can adjust it. So let's focus on Minmus one more time. Zoom in. Okay, so now we are way on the left and a little bit north. That's fine. So we want to go to the right. And I'm just doing that to find what the blue marker is. That should be... somewhere on the border between the planet and the sky. Because this is in relationship to Kerbal, and since we're so far away, we're essentially looking to the middle of the blue. And we go so slow, and I obviously went the wrong way. It's going to be on the other side of this nav ball. There it is. And I want to just get on the marker. I don't want to use this maneuver. Yeah, you can see it kind of moves. Oh, now I'm going to blow right by it. A lot of wasted time here. There we go. That's right in that 270 line. So I'm going to get rid of this because I want to watch this. So I'm going to slight burn. So I have some control with the engine gimbaling. And there it's moving towards the moon, Minmus. And now it's wrapping around the other side. But now we're south, so we need to go north. Alright, start slowing down now because this is going to take over very... Okay, let's get a little burn. Oh, there we go. Now we're colliding with it. So we have enough northward. We just now need to go to the right again, which is back on the 270 line. Slow down, slight burn, there we go. That's what we want. We're coming in on the right, wrapping around the correct way. So let's turn SAS on. Let's actually just time warp up to get this, and that's good enough. Let's go ahead and go to our destination here. Center on the ship once again. All kinds of wobbliness going on, so let's just go get to this encounter. I'm not sure why it's freaking out. This encounter should be close enough where there we go. And that's at 86,000. So let's get on retrograde. Actually, let's do our high moon or high Minmus science now. And did I forget to bring along a thermometer? I think I did. So let's do one of these. 40 science there. Do one of the canisters. 100 science for that. We can do a crew report. $20 science there. We can do an EVA. $32 science there. Okay, we can take out our crew report. And now we can fly down. So let's let go. Turn on the jetpack. Go collect this data on the Alright, we need to change our camera mode here. Come on. There we go. Flying in. Stop. 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 Bump. Okay, click, 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 click. Collect data. Collect data. Alright, now we can go back in the capsule. Grab. And board. Okay, so now our high Minmus science is taken care of. Now to turn this thing over to the retrograde. And because of the slow ship, this mission is taking much longer than I anticipated. I thought I'd have a short episode, but nope. Alright, let's lock that on with warp. And let's head on in. We're only traveling 260 meters per second relative to Minmus, so we want to slow down that a little bit to get into orbit. Alright, that's close enough. Let's go ahead and get this firing. Bring that right on down. 90,000. I think we have to get pretty close for near Minmus science. So let's go ahead and lower periapsis down to 20. Yeah, less than 20 should do it. Let's move around. And then from there we should be able to burn for landing. Actually, what we want to do is circularize, because Minmus has biomes and we can get EVAs from the different biomes. Alright, so let's spin this around. Start slowing down. Quick one of those just to do the rest. Alright, let's bring this down to also below 20. I think the boundary is 25. 18 and 18, that would be perfect. Alright, let's get back to our ship. And let's get Gregden out on an EVA and find out where we're flying over. EVA report from the Midlands, 32 science. Let's board with that science. Fast forward a bit. Let's see where we are now. See if that's a different place. Still Midlands, so we don't want to keep that. Okay, now we're over one of the plains or flats. We'll probably land on that. That's usually the best place to land on Minmus, especially if it's your first time. Great flats. Keep that data. Let's continue on. Let's see what we're over. This might, there's a slope biome. Hard to get over, especially in space. Well, we got it. Slopes. Excellent. Board. Alright, let's fast forward a bit more. Let's see where this is. EVA. More Midlands. Nope, we don't need that. This big flat area, which is deceiving. It's not quite as flat as it looks from up here. So a little difficult to land on. Lowlands, that's weird. Keep that data, but that's a new biome. We'll get above some other, oh I see, it's, yeah, below that area. Get some kind of flats biome here. Okay, I think we're over it now. Okay, that's just the regular flats. Not the great flats, not the lesser flats, just flats. And let's see, what is this one? Is this a different one? Because it is separated, so it might be different. EVA report. Greater flats. Keep that data. So we had great and greater flats. And we got midlands and lowlands. I'm not sure where highlands might be. Let's just test this stuff in the dark here. And then we'll start looking for a landing location. I've already got slopes. There's also poles. Alright, let's see if we can see... Can't see really anything in the dark. Let's do one more EVA. Blind EVA. And then we'll look for a landing site. Lowlands. We already got lowlands. Okay, we're good. We got more than enough. Oh yeah, we still need to do the other goo pod for near Minmus. Keep data. And the other materials bay. 100 science, keep that data. And we need to do a crew report. Near Minmus. Okay, now we need to collect that, but let's go ahead and get into the sun to do that. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me fumble around in the dark. There we go. Alright, one more EVA. Let's just test, make sure we're not in a new biome. Nope. Okay, so take all the data. And then let go. RCS pack on. Head on over to the materials bay. I think it was the bottom one for this particular mission. Collected it and collected it. Yeah, I don't think it would have said anything if I didn't have data to collect. Just to test. Yeah, see, it doesn't even react. Alright, back off. Go forward, go up, go down, go left, go down, go down, grab, and board with all that delicious science. Look at all that. Alright, now let's find a place to land. Let's go ahead and go for this flat right there. That's very, very convenient. We're already on our retrograde, so we can just go ahead and find that and burn. Keep an eye on this part of it. Center Minmus. There we go. We're just inside it there. When we slow down, we'll land somewhere in there. And that means we can also get rid of these stages and they'll crash and not become space debris. Alright, let's stop there. Stop our warp there. Let's go ahead and stage this one away. We'll do our slow down burn with this and then stage it. Now we're going to be a little bit more nimble. So we'll land somewhere over there. We only have 150 meters per second to get rid of. Let's go and wait a bit. There we go, we're safely over the flats. It's going to kill the horizontal velocity with this engine, then get rid of it. Change that to surface. Okay, let's stage that out. We need stage one more time to activate these engines. Put the gear down. Put our lights on. And we're pretty nicely vertical right now. Yeah, a little bit more control now that it's a lighter ship. %30 thrust, so it does take quite a bit to slow us down. That means once we're close, we'll have a pretty good control. These flats are right at 0, so we know our altitude exactly instead of trying to guesstimate from, you know, how high the surrounding lands are. That crashed. Okay, we're just going 7 meters per second now. We need to let this just go down. Let's get a couple of glamour shots. We see it. There's Kerbal there in the distance. Trying to get my middle mouse wheel button to work. Oh, there we go. A little bit. Come on. Come on. Alright, now center again. There's the lights. Whoa. Now there's a suicide burn. That waited a little bit too long. Alright, let's leave those lights on because they'll look good in the shot from landing. Okay, so crew report from the surface. 25 science. EVA. I think we already have this from flying above space, just above Minmus Great Flats. I think we have this already. I'll keep it to my board. Let's take everything out. And store everything. And board. Already stored in this module. Okay, so yeah, we'll lose that one. That's okay. Alright, now the outboard experiments. We have a goo pod. We can only take one home, so we'll just do one. 50 more science there. The science container, 125. Alright, EVA again. Let go, RCS, back up, and just a little boost, and land, sticks the landing. Turn off the RCS. Ooh, there's a pretty picture. Alright, there's definitely our thumbnail. Actually, after I plant the flag, so let's do EVA report. Surface sample, 150, and plant the flag. Minmus, landing 1, Great Flats. Ooh, I'm sure glad this was flat. It made the landing very easy. Alright, Gregden, now face the camera. Now let's go ahead and get this thumbnail, and we are ready to go home. We'll grab these once we're in orbit, so I don't have to do acrobatics here on the ground to collect them. Alright, so RCS on, up, forward a bit, oh, down a bit. Very powerful in this low gravity. Grab, board. Alright, we are ready to take off. 90 is down the bottom. 3, 2, 1, lift off. There's the let's get a little more altitude so we don't run into these mountains over here. Let's get it up to 20,000. There we go. Accelerate this as soon as we're able. There's another kind of cool shot for the closing montage, I think. Alright. Can we warp now? Yes, we can. Give the 20,000. So 6,000 meters is for the 50 times. Alright, we're about up. Let's get this thing into orbit. There you go, safe orbit. Now we can go collect those science from down below. Let's change. Now this camera angle I think might work. EVA. Let go. RCS. And just go a little bit to the left and forward. Collect the data. And down a bit. Collect the data. And let's go home. Nope. A little bit aggressive on the controls. Grab and board. So much delicious science. Alright. So now we need to boost our way. Whoops, wrong key. I need the M. We need to boost our way back to Kerbal. So we need to do the burn somewhere around there. Let's just escape, and then we'll burn down to get the encounter with Kerbal. Alright, burn away. Alright, we cut that now, get rid of the maneuver node, warp our way out to the escape. Alright, now get retrograde to Kerbal. And bring this periapsis right down. To at least 15,000 meters, if not a direct collision. Gotta be careful about the moon encounter. I bet we'll get one somewhere along here. Oh, nope. Excellent. It's always a pain to work away around that. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go home. Find out how much of this science we have. Nope, we're still centered on... We want to center ourselves on our ship. Backspace. Let's slow this down as we approach. Let's get some nice views from here. There we go. Sliding right into Kerbal's atmosphere. Alright, I will see you guys on the ground. Alright, we are safely on the ground. Let's recover this guy. 971.5 science. We have 1155 to spend. Look at all that. That is wonderful. And that is just one landing and then lots of EVA reports, as that gave us a lot of extra. But we didn't go biome hopping, we just landed. Parts, we get just a little bit back from those. You can see our funds now are over $1 million. Let's see. Crew, Gregdon. Oh, you know what you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to accept the contract. That is disappointing. I was wondering why my funds were pretty much exactly what we started with. Alright, I'm back. I got stuck in the bug loop. Whenever I tried to exit a building, I'd get a close-up of just these 3 buildings. So those are all I could choose, and no matter which one I went to, I'd go to the, I'd come back to that. So I couldn't get out to do anything. Anyway, that's besides the point. The main point is I really screwed up this episode by not selecting the Minmus mission. So, what do I do about it? The mission was still a success. We got a lot of science. So let's go ahead and select some new goodies. Because regardless, we would have achieved all this science. We've gotten about 76 more from completing the mission, or the contract. But we will... Excuse me. We will go ahead and select some of these right now. So 1160, it's quite a few. So let's go ahead and get electrics. More solar panels is always good. Let's go ahead and get the barometer. Drogue parachute, really don't need that. Big capsule, that might come in handy. 676, that's enough for 320, 640, 4 more. So we can essentially unlock the rest of this level. So we will do that. As far as the mistake I made, I'm going to go ahead and run that mission again off camera, and I will be right back with you with the results of that. So see you in a minute. Alright, I am back. Jorley and I did a quick Minmus mission. All we did was orbit, land, and we did collect science, but a crew report from space, which was 0 science, and a crew report from the lesser flats, which was 25 science. So I wasn't trying to get extra, I was just trying to make up for my huge error earlier. So we've achieved the land on Minmus, the orbit Minmus, and this was the decoupler from before. So now when I recover this, I'll get the science from orbiting and science from landing. Now I'll complete the rest of the contract. So recover vessel. And you can see here that we now have let's clear this first. That we now have 121,000 from that. So we're up about 15 or 10,000 from before. It would have been better because we've gotten this on top of the other mission without getting spending another ship's worth of costs. And we've transmitted or recovered the science mission from the surface and from space. So now the Minmus contract is complete. We can go into the contracts area active. These are all done. Archives, Explore Minmus is complete, as well as the testing the decoupler that we took up with us in the first mission. Anyway, that will do it for this episode, finally, the derpiest tutorial ever, where I make such a huge blunder that all I can do is laugh. It's pretty funny. Anyway, we will get back to doing some other missions next time. Now, there's pretty low number of missions here. We'll have to see what it looks like when I reload it next time. But we'll take a look at those and do some other small missions before the next mission. We'll alternate back and forth. The next one is probably Explore Ike. It's a place we can land with the lander we have now. We just have to get it there. And that'll be a whole new challenge. But in the meantime, we'll do a few other missions to buff up our funds and our science. Anyway, this has been episode 7 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim. I want to thank you guys a lot for joining me. Have a great day.